You are listening to Fanning the Flames, the OG Suns podcast that is for the fans, you guys, by the fans, us.
Daniel, I want to start this episode of Fanning the Flames off by wishing you a happy new year, because it has been that long since we actually put an episode of this out. December 16th, did I say 18th, something like that, 2025. The last time we came to you from, at least from the Fanning the Flames account itself. I've popped around a bunch of other podcasts. If you weren't aware of that, Daniel, I'm not sure how much you actually pay attention to Suns podcasts, to be honest, when we're not actively doing them, which has been the better part of the past 4 seasons for us anyway.
I mean, it's
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, buddy. It's been busy. Me and you've talked. Yeah, man. Life, career, trying to, do shit. So yeah, man. Life is busy.
Let's be honest, it's mostly you and Paul like blowing me off. It's what it's been. But hey, we're not here to talk about the past. We're here to talk about the future, I guess. And we'll talk about the past, like stuff that happened particularly today. But before we get into that, it has been 6 months. Is there anything you'd like to particularly dive into before we dive into the obvious of Miles Bridges? But is there anything you want to get off your chest that maybe arose since the year 2026 began? Oh man, we're terrible.
Jesus Christ, we're the worst. Well, last year was fun. Compared to the previous couple years in Suns basketball, we had a fucking nitty gritty team that reminded me of those teams back in like the 90s, like the fucking team that beat the Spurs. When was that? Was that 99, 2000 when they beat the Spurs and then got lost in a gentleman's sweep to the Lakers the next round when Jason Kidd broke his ankle and Kevin Johnson came back. Kind of reminded me of that type of team, which was cool, right? We knew they weren't going to fucking win the championship. We knew they weren't even going to get past the first round, but hey, man, like as long as they fought, like, hey, that was our team. So yeah, that was cool. That was cool to watch. I feel like the team kind of lost steam towards the end there, which, par for the course. Because I mean, come on, Gillespie, good for him that he got the contract and was very, very happy with the year he had last year. But let's be real, he hadn't played those many minutes in such a long time. Congrats, by the way, franchise leader in 3-point makes for a season. Who would have thought? Right. So there's a lot of positive from last season, man. Some negative, and a lot's happened. So much so that our franchise player now has a new fucking jersey number. So fuck all my Devin Booker jerseys that I have. Or are they vintage now?
No, they're outdated. They'll be vintage in like another 10 years, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Can't wait for those clearance sales, by the way.
They've already, I think, started popping up. You might want to be double checking on those. I feel like I have enough jerseys, which I'm pausing because I'm thinking about this as a 44-year-old man, and as I say the words out loud, suddenly it seems kind of odd. But hey, whatever. We are who we are. I am who I am. It is what it is. But how do you feel about him changing his number, actually? Because I feel like this is obviously at this point old news. But hey, guess what? We tend to be behind in time a little bit. So
let's be real.
Shoot us. Also, my bad.
We're also old news. So yeah,
we are. But we're news now. But okay. Anyway,
so
the matter at hand. How do you feel about it?
I honestly, I could not find the words to say that I could not give less fucks about this than I actually do. Like, I really don't fucking care. Cool. Like, hey man, good for him. Did it for his dad. Hey, that's that. I get that. At least there's a reason behind it. It's not just like, hey, I'm just gonna switch my number just because. Whatever. But I think I saw a tweet you put out a couple weeks ago saying that you want more Devin Booker the player than Devin Booker the brand, and that's kind of where I'm leaning towards with this. I'm like, hey man, cool, that's cool, but hey, guess what? We'll buy your jerseys. You're gonna make you're hey, good for you. Glad you're doing it for pops. Now do it on the floor. That's kind of where my head is with this because I'm just like I just don't care. I don't care. Like when people are like, "Oh, this is who gives a fuck." Dude, like one was an ancillary number. Like he literally said it himself. Like number one was just
Yeah,
like number one. Like it's whatever.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I think that's fair. I mean, look, I think the narrative behind it is cool. I think the size of the narrative was maybe unnecessary. What happened to the subtleties of Devin Booker? But neither here nor there. It's ultimately inconsequential. And hey, you know what? Let's spin it this way. Maybe it lights a little bit of an extra fire under his ass because he is wearing his dad's number now. It certainly will be a reminder every time he looks in the mirror. So again, it happened. It'll be weird. It's weird to see. It's weird to see. It's going to be weird to get used to. I think just because 15 is also just kind of like
It's
like
just such a random number. Like what's like who do you
yeah.
think of? Like Vince Carter? That's what I think of when I
Now
think of
I
15.
guess so. Now I guess I do. So, but hey,
So
define the number 15. So be it. Should we, what you want to talk about something that actually is like pertinent to something? Is that what
yeah,
you're going
no,
to
no,
get
no.
at?
I'm just hoping. Hey, hopefully he makes it into something. You know what I mean? Hopefully
Yeah.
we'll look back at this and we'll be like, hey, that's when Devin Booker became. That's when he like evolved into the next stage of his career. And I'm not even gonna
And
say it because it's so far from now. But the Suns win a championship.
and that happening is going to take Devin Booker needing to evolve to some degree. But that's I think for another day. Look, dude, we're just coming off of a little vacay. Let's not come out too hot here, right? Hold on, but can I demonstrate something that is amazing here? I did not get rid of this banner because I'm like, I have to show Dan what the last banner, like the first banner of our last show was. You ready? You ready?
Let's see it.
Yeah, baby.
Oh my god, dude! Holy shit! We were what top four in the West at that point?
What a day.
Some
What a
shit
day.
like that. Oh my god. Did you
So
remember like at some point in the season, like before we hit the skid, people were like, "Oh, how far up can we get? Can we get home court in the first round?" Because we were like a six. We kept going back and forth between a 6 and a 7 seed, but we were like only like a game and a half out of like three behind the Lakers. And
yeah,
we're like,
yeah,
"Oh
yeah.
fuck, we can catch them." But like we kept losing dumb fucking games, which seems to be the fucking motto of the fucking Phoenix Suns. Doesn't matter what fucking year it is. Even when we fucking won 64 games, we lost some stupid ass games that year. So you
Yeah.
know, it's just kind of what we do, buddy.
All that from the 9-6 start banner. Dan is on. I love it, baby.
Oh,
You're
dude,
back. You're on
I got
fire. Dan's ready to
I
go.
got
Like 6
guns
months
blazing.
pent up. Suns. Speaking of guns blazing, have you seen any of the Suns jam session episodes as of late?
No.
No, that's fine. No, and I didn't mean to say that from like a perspective of like I'm testing whether you watch them because I think candidly, I think everybody that's within our little Suns universe, our friends, I don't think any of them are like, oh, I bet Dan watches our episodes every day. Because frankly, I don't think anybody carries that expectation and nobody's mad about it. I asked because you probably then are not aware of Voida is having like his summer of being sleeveless. So he's been wearing nothing but like tank tops all summer. And the first time I saw it, I was like, no sleeves, who's this guy? Dan Duarte? And now like ever since then I want you guys to be on an episode of something together so it can just be like just guns all up in everybody's faces.
Dude,
That's
I'm gonna wear sleeves that episode.
like long sleeves, like you're like, oh, I'm sorry,
just a hoodie.
I got I got sunburned. I can't, anyway, so now should we move on to more pertinent of the day? Like this is like the fanning the flames version of like an emergency pod because something actually happened today and we're podding about it at the end of the day. Most people like emergencies done a little quicker, but it sucks. So yes, we know who I'm talking about. Okay, here, I'm just going to do this because look, I did. Let me see if I can do this, if I can figure this out. Ready? Bang, bang. This is what we're talking about. Yes. Miles Bridges coming to the Phoenix Suns.
Yep.
Dan, how did you first learn of the trade this morning? Afternoon, whenever it was.
Shams
Morning.
is the Shams
What we're
whatever
looking at
breaking
right
news thing.
here,
Yeah,
perhaps.
basically.
Okay.
So yeah, I saw this and I was like, I wasn't surprised. I was like, oh, okay. They needed to get
So
under the luxury tax. Um, they eh, people are kind of looking at the 2033 first round pick, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what the new fucking lottery bullshit thing is. I don't know, but I know that unprotected picks aren't as valuable now as they may have been in the past. Maybe somewhere along those lines. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I'm quoting Bill Simmons by the way on
well,
that. So
here let
blame him if
let's
I'm wrong.
let's. Can I give you a
But
rundown? Because I'm not. Oh, sorry. Go
hold
ahead.
on,
Okay.
and then real quick, and then the pick the 2029 first round pick, does that not also allow them to do other trades going forward because now they have the next 3 years are free, so they don't have those
I,
restrictions ish maybe.
yeah. So I think you're right on that. Well, you are right on that. The 2027 pick, getting that one, or right,
20,
2029 pick that
2029,
they're
yeah.
getting back, it allows them to now, I think, trade 2027 first round pick at 2029 first round pick, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to look that
Yeah.
up, but why would I have done that before we did this? I've had 6 months. Well, but so we send out Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, that 2033 first round pick that you mentioned, and I think also another second round pick. Now, I think where people do get hung up on. Well, let's stop. Let's stop before we get into like the how do we feel about the minutia of the trade.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, how do you feel about it, Dan? And I paused because I'm like, do we want to separate? Attempt to separate. How do you want to address? But I'm just going to ask you, Dan. How do you feel about the trade? Off the bat.
I think we can all agree that he's probably not a good guy. Probably a piece of shit. Hey man, you put your hands on a woman, you're probably a piece of shit. That's something that I'm very. I have a daughter. You have two daughters. I'm you have a wife. I'm very much in the don't you don't fuck with kids. Don't fuck with women. Right. So not a good guy. Right. I think we all know that. I think for me, the thing that has been pissing me off over the last, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours is the people that find the need to be like, "Hey, I'm so much better than everyone because I don't agree with this trade," like, and can't separate the basketball and the personal shit from it. Like, hey, we know, but guess what? He's on our team. So can we talk about the basketball side without you being fucking pissed off and throwing people under the bus and calling people out? Because guess what? Just because you're just because you're speaking out on it and being like, "Oh, I don't agree with this," doesn't make you better than anybody. So can we just agree with that, please, everyone? I
Yes, we could all
digress.
agree with what Dan said. No, okay, so all right. So what do you think from a basketball perspective? Let's take the approach of separating the history, the personal history. We look at it strictly from a basketball perspective, and I'll say my piece, but from a basketball perspective, what do you think?
Basketball perspective, it's kind of feels like Dylan Brooks all over again. Like it kind of feels like an experiment to me. Like, hey, let's see where this is at. Hey, we got under the luxury tax, right? We shed some salary. We opened up a roster spot. We also opened up, flexibility as far as the trade market goes. Opened up that first round pick. We may have lost in the end 2033, but whatever. Like, that's fucking Jesus Christ, that's 7 years from now. Like, we'll worry about that in 7 years, right? We might not all be around in 7 years. Let's be real. Um,
Jesus.
sorry to be dark. Um, So, like from a basketball perspective, it makes sense it makes sense in I feel like this whole era with Jordan Ott has kind of been a little bit of an experiment. I feel like Dylan Brooks was completely an experiment. Like, hey, like this can go either really good or really bad. Good, luckily for them, it went really well. So like they're like, hey, we'll give him an extension, right? Had it gone bad, hey, free agent. I don't know if he was restricted or not, but hey, at the end of the day, you can get a sign and trade, whatever. If he wasn't, whatever. I feel like that's kind of where they're looking at with this one. I just feel like this is just a little bit more baggage than Dylan Brooks was. So
Yeah, it's definitely more baggage than Dylan Brooks was, and I mean, I obviously feel the same way about the history, and I don't think you really even need to say it, right? I mean,
right,
it's so obvious. Um, the the issue I have, the concern I have is and this is something I think a lot of people have brought up, is we've been hearing the Suns front office, the Suns ownership, Matt Ishbia preaching about getting high character guys and all of that kind of stuff, and obviously this certainly seems to fly in the face of that. That this on its face flies in the
yeah,
face of that. Now, at I'm going to say at the same time, and this is and I hesitate because it's just I don't know that I actually can say this. I I mean, I'm a lawyer, right? I have certain understandings of how the law works and limited, but certain understandings about how the criminal justice system works, right? I know it's all fucked up. It's not perfect. Nothing truly in our justice system is, whether it's criminal or civil. Um, I'm one that tends to think if somebody changes their ways, improves themselves, they deserve a second chance. But I honestly don't think I can say that in the context of what we're talking about here.
yeah.
And that's like you're saying, putting hand on women. Dude, I you know I've said my piece on that. I'm not going to judge the trade based on that because I don't have to, because I don't really like the trade as it is, because I feel like Miles Bridges as a basketball player, just I mean, he doesn't move the needle adding him to the roster, at least for me as I sit here right now. Particularly when you're taking away, and I understand that there's no surprise that Grayson Allen got traded. There's no surprise that Royce O'Neal got traded. But at the same time, we brought in an undersized four who's not a particularly strong rebounder. Maybe tell me if I'm wrong anywhere. And isn't a particularly good shooter. Now there's an uptick in athleticism there. And the question is, I do think what impact does it have, if any, within the locker room? Now, we have to remember that Miles Bridges served a suspension that was issued, mandated by the NBA, right? And if you look at least the tweets that I've been seeing coming out from people on the Hornets side of this, are saying that he's a dude that came in, was a good leader and a hard worker, and that was a young team, and he was a leader on a young team, and by all accounts, what I'm seeing is they're gonna miss him on that roster there. So again, we'll see how it plays out in Phoenix. I think it's going to be very, and understandably so, it's going to be difficult, if not impossible, for people to kind of not see that those issues no matter what. And I don't know, it's a
And that's fair.
weird
That's
thing.
fair.
Yeah, because
Yeah, that's
I like I
fair.
said, I think I'm one of those people. It's gonna do it.
Yeah,
Why
dude.
can't I need anything else complicating my life? Like, as
No.
stupid as that sounds, but man, can't like who am I kidding? I was gonna say, can't rooting for the Suns just be easy? As if that's ever actually been easy.
Right. Right.
Not so much.
Um. Yeah, man. Like I said, you're not gonna like every player that comes through here, and I get it. People are fucking pissed. I've seen the tweets, and I'm just like, dude, I get it. I got a kid. I don't. That's to me like it's inexcusable. So I'm supposed to not root for the Suns. Supposed to not. like want him to do bad because he did bad things. Like, no, man. Like, hey, cool. I can separate the two. It's shitty. It's a shitty situation. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, and I'm here I'm hoping when I look at it from the basketball perspective that I'm wrong. And if I told you there wasn't a little piece of me inside who thought I was saying this just so I could be wrong, because anytime I show any sort of optimism about the Suns, it always ends up in pure pain and chaos and failure. So maybe if I actually say, you know what, I don't like this, the basketball gods would be like, yeah, right, Justin, we'll show you, you're wrong again. And then I'll it's like reverse psychology this into actually being a good productive move. But look, it's complicated. That's what we'll call it, right? It's complicated.
Yes.
I think that's what everyone can justify. And maybe it's not complicated for some people, and so be it, one way or the other. But hey, I'm an overthinker. I'm a complicated guy as it is, so it's complicated.
As far as the basketball side of it, just everything they've done, the moves they've made. What's the over under on percentage? You taking the over 50% or under that Jalen Green's on this team next season?
I think the moves make me want to say I'm taking the under, like freeing up, getting more flexible in terms of your ability to deal first round picks, right? But then at the same time, what are they going to? What could they do? What could be out there that would be the move that makes sense? Like, sure as shit ain't deer and fox, and obviously and that wouldn't make sense anyway for multiple reasons. But I don't know if there's a move out there that ends with him not on this team that I'm like, okay, cool, I'm happy they did that. But also, who knows what's actually going on out there, who might be on the block. But as far as anybody that's looking for a new home right now, or that's kind of out there, like Jaylen Brown's not going to happen for Jalen Green, right? If you told me that was possible, then
I was gonna say, dude, that'd be the only guy that'd be like, you know what, dude, fucking A.
Yeah, then okay, you're talking my language.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah,
Jalen Green, that's not.
So what do you think?
I think he gets traded at the All-Star break. That's my prediction.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna try it out. They're gonna see how it goes, and then when they finally realize that either A, he can't stay healthy, or B, he just does not fit, they'll find a suitor for him. They'll find somebody with a trade exception. They'll be able to unload one of those picks. Maybe they'll attach a pick to him, and then I don't know how the salary cap works, but maybe they get a trade exception for trading him. I don't know how the fuck that shit works, but some kind of maneuver will happen at the All-Star break.
Okay. Well, I mean,
depending
on, like you're saying, how he's fitting. Yeah, there's at least based on what I'm looking right here, it says 71. They missed us, Dan. It's your arms. Hey, for being honest.
How many of those are the OnlyFans bots that keep following me?
Are you the reason why all of Suns I'm getting that too? No. I feel like it's your fault. So okay, hold on. Did you answer? I totally blame one of the Aussies. It's like 98% one of their faults. Like that's I got a strong suspicion of which one, but I'm not even gonna say. So hold on though. Hold on. We know who it is. Did you answer the question about the whole 50% Jalen Green thing?
I'm gonna say to start the season, I'm gonna say under.
Oh, that's right. But hold on. But you said something's gonna happen at the trade deadline or at the All-Star break.
Correct.
Or do you still think under to start the season?
Yeah, I still think there's a 40% chance he's still on this team.
Dude, you're getting very specific here. I'm impressed. I don't know if I should be, but I am. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Bro,
I mean, it would suck.
Dude, you look like if Jay and Silent Bob had a baby.
Fuck, I actually see exactly what you're saying, and that I don't know how I feel about that. That's amazing. Oh my god.
Oh my god, dude! I can't even see it now. I can't look at you.
I don't know. I cannot see it either, dude. I hate you. I love you. It happened. So okay, now it doesn't make it any better. I feel like to make my head look at PHS is really large. So all
Oh
right,
my
hold on.
god! Holy
Hold on.
shit, dude!
What were we just talking about? Jalen Green? I would be, I mean, you know me, I'd be bummed if I lost one of my Filipino brothers from the team. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either way if he is or is not with the team. And I honestly have no sense what's going to happen. So I think we just move right off of that. But we do have one roster spot open now, right?
Yeah.
So is there anybody that comes to mind? And we're going to have the full mid-level exception to whatever degree that we can, I think, available.
Yeah. It was like
so
13 million, 15?
I have no, I'm not sure, Daniel. But are there any names out there? Well, actually, let's not play guessing games here. Let me just do this because Gamba had tweeted earlier today about some potential names out there. Up to 6 million of the, well, you can read it. Oh, but you know what? Maybe people are listening, right? So, okay, the Suns hitting free agency. They're looking for a fourth guard, can go up to 6 million as part of the taxpayer mid-level that they can use. So Gambo lays out five names and wild card, who I don't know that I even want to talk about, that the Suns might be looking for. Now, clearly they recognize they lost a lot of three-point shooting there in this trade. So you see these names and you see them being players who the Suns are thinking, all right, we can make up some of that three-point shooting we lost. So let's walk through these, Daniel. I want to know what do you think? Luke Kennard? Let's start there. No. Yeah, I'm not a big Luke Kennard. No, just no.
No.
I feel like Luke Kennard's one of those guys that's supposed to be a really good shooter, but I feel like I never actually see it. Like he must just have a good shooter. Every like 5 games have a game where he's like 8 for 8, and then after that he's just super subpar. Because I feel like every time I watch him play, it's like meh.
I also feel like he has fucking Eric Gordon fucking syndrome. Like I feel like he's been tied to the Suns for like years. Like they've always tried to trade for him, or like he's always been like rumored to go to the Suns in free agency or some bullshit. So yeah, I'm all set on that one.
Okay. What about Kevin Huerter?
I'm all set. Where did he even play this season? This past season? Exactly. Can't even remember.
Sacramento?
I don't think he was on Sacramento.
Hold on. Detroit. It's way off. You know, I do remember. I think it might have been. Now I can't say his name differently. Like than going Huerter. I think it might have been Kevin Huerter, who always wore like KDs when we played against them. Like, and I always thought that was weird because he's playing like wearing shoes of a guy that he's playing against. But it also might have been somebody else. I'm not sure. Next on the list, Collin Sexton. What do you think about that name?
Sign me the fuck up. That's what I want.
I love that idea of Collin Sexton.
Get Collin Sexton on my fucking team. Now we're cooking.
Now is that like? And he was with Charlotte last season, so that would obviously be quite fitting, since apparently we're just pulling all of Charlotte, over to Phoenix because that's worked out so well. But is Collin Sexton, if we're talking up to 6 million, like I feel like that seems like a very low number for Collin Sexton, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's just a matter of there not being money out there.
Maybe. That does seem very fucking low. When I thought they had a mid-level exception, I thought it was at least over 10 million, but 6 mil. I don't know if that's going to get it done for Collin Sexton, if I'm being honest with you. Unless there's like a wink deal under the table, which we've seen before.
We have.
Yeah, man. Like, come sign with us, and
You
then
talk
Danny
you talk
Manning. Come on,
you
man.
talking about oh, I thought you meant like, recently. Like Kawhi, like that kind of wink nudge
No,
nudge
no, no.
deal.
Like, hey, we'll give you, we'll extend you. Whatever. Anyway, so I don't know, man. I don't know if that's gonna get it done, but holy shit, that would move the meter a little bit for me. I feel like now we're talking like we're not playing for the playing game at that point. We're like
Yeah.
vying for a top 6 seed.
Well, yeah, and he's a guy that knows how to handle the ball too, right? So that
Yeah, I don't
I
want
mean,
Devin Booker playing too much more point guard, man. That experiment's been going on for way too fucking long. I think we need to just let him be the shooting guard.
I love it. I love that. And we start asking about, the price range for these guys. And if I just continue to read Gambo's tweet a little bit further, he says a couple of these guys may get 8 to 12 million to be priced out, but he's saying this is who they expect he expects the Suns to look at. Now, Jordan Clarkson, I mean,
I know
you're,
you.
you're
I
gonna
know you
tell
love
me
him.
you're gonna tell me you're gonna throw another Filipino on the Suns. Okay. Well, or if you're gonna, if Jalen Green's gonna be like shipped off, at least you can, replace him with a Filipino. So but he also seems like a guy that price point might make a little bit more sense with, because I mean, I know he just won a
Yeah.
championship with the Knicks, but he didn't exactly play big minutes there. Now Jordan
He's
Clarkson's
also, I feel
also
like he's also a guy that's always been linked to the Sun, dude. Always like, oh, the Suns are gonna get Clarkson, they're gonna sign him, they're gonna fucking trade for him, second round pick, first round pick, whatever. When he was with the Lakers and they suck, all that bullshit. Anyway, sorry, buddy.
now
Sorry to
now
interrupt.
isn't no, you're good. Now Clarkson too is one of those guys like I feel like he tends to overall, or at least until, because I feel like he didn't play a whole lot of this. He's getting older too, dude. He's 34. I didn't realize he was that old, man. Um, but
Easy.
he's not too far removed from sixth man of the year, if I remember correctly. But he's also 34, and a guy that as you're getting further in your career, to be a guy who's kind of been known as a spark plug off the bench type thing. And I mean, I guess you had like Jamal Crawford did that until very late in his career. But I think my affection for Jordan Clarkson is highly biased
Yeah,
based on
let
his
me let
ethnicity.
me let me let me bring you a little bit back down. Yes, yes, Jamal Crawford did do that, but he did a 19-win Suns team, right?
Right. So
Let's remember that. Jordan Clarkson also. Fuck, I had a good point. God damn it, I forgot it. Yeah, man. I don't think he's a good fit. Like if like it's like a hey, he didn't play that many minutes, but like there's potential there. I feel like we're kind of like grabbing at straws at this point. Like let's not
yeah, I
fucking
gotcha.
do that again. You know what I mean? And like also like oh, that's what I was gonna say. So you mentioned the six man of the year.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was 6 years ago. That was the
it
COVID
was
year.
2021. So yes, five
Okay,
years
the year
ago, but
after.
still, it's still
Yeah, the Sun,
pointing.
the Suns were in
That's
the
why.
the Suns were in the
Hey,
finals.
look,
Think about
man,
that.
look, man. I'm 44. When I say not too far removed, that's like 5 years is not too far removed. Okay, leave me
This is true.
alone.
This is true. Sorry, buddy.
God,
Also, you're
that's fine.
frozen, and it's disconcerting.
Am I?
Yes.
Like, for how long have I been frozen for? For how
For
long have I been frozen?
for like the last rant I went on.
Am I still frozen? Because I'm not frozen on my side.
Yeah, you're very frozen. You're
That's,
fucking Walt Disney right now, dude.
well, not on YouTube, it appears. So I'm not going to worry about it too much, I guess. Or am I? Nope, that's just me blinking. Uh okay. So no, no, yes, no. D'Anthony Melton.
No thanks.
Okay. Is that it? Just that you just don't like the idea generally? No.
Yeah, in general, I'm all right. Like I know he's had some nice seasons, but like, hey, give me somebody that's like actually proven, and like you can sit here and say that okay, Colin Sexton isn't proven, but I mean, he's gotten paid big money. Like he's played on good teams before, so like it's not like he hasn't. proven himself. D'Anthony Melton, I feel like is always kind of just like a role player, like that uh second guy off the bench, kind of like a TJ McConnell type guy, like that's just gonna come in and play good minutes for you. The Suns need somebody more that's gonna fit into that starting lineup. That's gonna make Devin Booker not be a fucking point guard. That's what I want.
Yeah, and I hear you, and I think, and I'm just sorry, I'm just looking at D'Anthony Melton. He's still pretty young. He's 27, but yeah, I get you. But I guess if you look at that group of five, and okay, Landry Shamit, damn it, Shamit. Uh, what do you think about that wild card in Landry Shamit, Dan? Because I just figured we'd
Yeah,
address it before. Yeah, no, good, pass.
yeah, no, I'm all set. I'm good. We
You are
covered that
getting a little
already.
choppy over there. Yeah, yeah, okay. So now, if you're looking at that five, obviously Colin Sexton, feel like seems to be the obvious like choice A right there, right?
Yes, yes. Hey,
Um,
keep
just
talking. I'm gonna leave
yeah,
and come back in.
I can't wait to see you when you get back. Because yeah, okay, I got you while you're doing that. Because you're a little choppy. I was gonna say, I feel like D'Anthony Melton though has to be. You know, he's like, gosh, see, it's his foot. Sorry, I read the chat. It's his fault. D'Anthony Melton, I feel like has to be the obvious choice behind Colin Sexton. I mean, if anything, I think he's been the most productive the most recently, and well, it just seems like he would be of that group too, the one that would potentially take some of that, ball handling load from Booker as needed. And we're also though talking about somebody that's going to be brought in, with a final roster spot. Now that doesn't necessarily mean they're at the end of the roster, but I think we also have to temper expectations in terms of what we would expect from them, generally. Now, one thing, speaking of like roster spots and what have you, we
Can I
haven't
can
talked
I
about.
can I
Oh yeah,
can I
go
say
ahead.
one
Sorry.
thing real quick? Were you
Mhm.
talking about Colin Sexton?
I was saying D'Anthony Melton, I think, is the choice B behind Colin Sexton, probably a distant B. But
Yeah.
that's what I was saying.
The thing that worries me about D'Anthony Melton and to a lesser degree Sexton is the remember when we got Tice Jones on a discount and
Yeah,
we thought
yeah,
we
with the
fucking
jackpot.
we hit the jackpot. He's starting point guard where he's for the future. That's what I worry about with those two guys. Not so much Sexton, but like D'Anthony Melton a little bit.
Yeah, I think
He's
everyone
kind of
though. I
bouncing
think we're.
around, you know.
Yeah, I think the expectations would be he was more of a mystery, I feel. Like we're still thinking that's an untapped potential, whereas I think these guys have had enough of an opportunity where it's like, all right, we know what they are. I think the expectations would be a little bit tempered there. At least I would presume, but who knows? We'll see where they end up going with that last roster spot. But what I was going to ask is, in the face of kind of Miles Bridges, but also we haven't even talked about this. Well, let's talk about this. We're talking about all this. We barely even touched the past 6 months. We're just talking about all this silly recent stuff. But what do you think about what the Suns did there, Dan? Draft night and moving up to get Koa Peat first night of the draft night, first night of the draft at least.
I like the move. Hometown kid. I don't know if it's as like groundbreaking as everybody thought it was. I think he might be a nice rotation piece. I've seen a lot of people talk about the Miles Bridges acquisition as maybe blocking somebody like Rasheer Fleming.
Yeah, that's where I was
I
going next.
I think people should kind of temper their expectations because I think Rasheer Fleming next season would be a great first option off the bench, six man type guy. First rotation in. I don't know if he's a starting power forward on a NBA team right now. And maybe when the Suns were in, maybe back in 2020, 2019, 2018, back in those days. Yeah. Now I no, let's not do that. Um, so I like it. I like the youth movement. I like the grittiness. I like the hometown connection. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we'll see if he's just going to be, hey, it's not. They sure don't. Um, it's not that long ago that we were talking about Ryan Dunn as like this, like, hey, untradeable piece. If you
Hmm.
remember that, people didn't want to put him in trades for anyone, and now he's kind of just there, right? He's kind of just the
Yeah.
guy. So
I
I just kind of caution people, and then we wanted to trade Oso forever, and then Oso has become a really important part of this team. So it's like let's just pump the brakes a little bit. So that's kind of where I stand with the. Sorry, that's kind of long, but
Yeah. No, you're good. I think Ryan Dunn's an interesting name only because he's kind of in a make or break year.
yeah,
Uh, Going into one, assuming something doesn't happen, right, and he get moved, but he's not going to have any expectations this year, so maybe it'll be nice for him to kind of have that lowered. He's not going to be under the microscope as much. If we're thinking and flipping more to Rashir, I for one am a little bummed that he's not going to get a bigger role, and only because I don't know. I don't have the team to me doesn't have a high ceiling. I don't have huge expectations for this next season, right? But part of that was built on whatever those expectations would be, or what of those expectations end up being, whether they be met or not. Uh, kind of develop, kind of depended on the development of guys like Rashir and like Malawach, the way that the Suns were trending, right, with the kind of run it back mentality. Now, again, if we look at just Miles Bridges being a guy that's going to come in and presumably the starter at that 4, I don't necessarily hate the idea of Rashir not starting next season. I think it gives the Suns a chance to also not have to have Koa Peat really play much of a role because, well, we really just went into the rest of the things. My question, I think, started with, what did you think about Koa Peat? But giving him another year to kind of get himself ready, and then you get to see whether or not Miles Bridges makes sense for this team to keep, right? Because he's in his contract year, if I'm
yeah,
not mistaken. Yeah.
sure is.
Which, so see what Miles Bridges looks like. Maybe the low shooting percentages and what have you, maybe him getting a bit more of an opportunity, because I think I've been reading his usage was down last season in Charlotte. Maybe that kind of unlocks something new in him and he becomes a better fit on the team than I'm thinking right now. But again,
We could hope.
yeah,
We would hope.
yeah,
That'd
yeah,
be great.
exactly. But somebody's going to give this year with one of these guys. If somebody's falling out of the rotation significantly, you would think, especially as the roster is made up right now. But
Yeah.
we shall see.
You also got to remember, they're they got rid of Grayson and Royce. There's going to be plenty of minutes to go around.
Fair.
So there, I feel like Rashir is going to be in that kind of like you remember when Cam was playing, he wasn't starting coming off the bench, but he was still playing
Yeah,
30 to 35 minutes a game.
yeah,
I feel like he's
yeah,
going to have that kind of role where he's
yeah.
like he might not start the game, but he's probably going to close it out because you're going to need that defensive presence there.
That length,
Um,
yeah, and that I
yeah, the
can
length.
that I can deal with.
Yeah, like sign me
I
up.
can like. Yeah,
And like, Koa Pete, let's call it like it is. Like he's a borderline second round pick, right? So let's be real. He's probably going to spend some time in the G League this year.
hmm,
He's not going to come in and demand minutes and get a. I hope he does. Don't get me wrong. I hope he comes in and
yeah,
fucking kills it. And they have that problem. But chances are he's going to be going back and forth between the G League and here. And he's gonna take his lumps, and they're gonna bring him along slowly, just like they have everyone else, just like they've
yeah,
done Malawatch. And hey, man, that's part of player development. Like that's okay. Like it's okay for the guys to not fucking play right off the bat. We're not in that situation anymore. It's
yeah.
not 2018 where hey, these guys were drafted. I mean, Elia Kobo isn't gonna fucking start games for us.
Right.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Do you remember that shit? Like when
yeah.
Elia
That's
Kobo was a
terrible.
starting point guard as a fucking
Yeah,
rookie
not
after
ideal.
we passed on Jalen Green. Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, let's not. We don't need to get into that. But no,
No, it's
like,
not.
yeah, I completely lost where I just was going to go with that. Anyway, so no, you have to meet. I don't know, Dan. You don't pay a ton of attention to like college basketball, right?
Not a ton.
So
During the
so like
tournament sometimes, but this year not so much.
Koa Peat was a very highly rated recruit, and even
Okay.
in mock drafts, even into the since since our last episode, there have been mock drafts that have even put him as high as being a top 5, top 10 pick, and that's the January February timeframe this year. He fell
Okay.
off a lot because he had a poor combine performance when it came to shooting. But one thing that Brian
That was
Gregory
good.
said in the
That was gonna be my one question. Can he shoot? Because I
no,
honestly don't fucking know.
the answer to that, as we sit here right now, appears to be no. Now U of A also last season ranked, I want to say like 339th out of like 354 Division One basketball programs in 3-point attempts per season, per season, per game. So it wasn't exactly a strong point or a focal point of the U of A offense last season. Now, when Pete took them, I think he shot like 30%, but he only took like, I want to say like 15 or something. It's a ridiculously low number. That's not really a strong sample size. Now, a lot of times people say there's the translation from, hey, can they shoot free throws? If they can, then the shooting's fixable. Well, he's not a great free throw shooter either, at least not last season. So that all being said, Brian Gregory during the introductory press conference did say that he thinks Koa Peat is somebody that is going to be able to develop a shot. And if he does, that really is the primary knock on him, I'd say. I mean, he's athletic. He's while somewhat undersized for a 4, maybe athletic enough to also hang with threes, but he's 6'7", I think without shoes, 6'8", in that range.
No one plays
But he's
barefoot, man.
240, 245. So
Big
he's
boy. He's a big boy.
yeah. So, but to your point, hey, we'll see what he can do. I bet he will get a lot of time in the G League. But ultimately, when you think about what the Suns did and just giving up basically 3 second-round picks to trade up to get a guy who,
Yeah.
I mean, frankly, it's a lottery ticket. If he turns out to be more like the guy who was a top level recruit, because he was like I want to say he was a top 10, top 15 recruit, something like that.
No.
He was a 5-star. If he kind of blossoms into something and develops a shot, that could be a diamond in the rough. But at the same time, yeah, I don't think he really necessarily is going to interfere with Rashir's times. And you bring up a really good point about them, with Royce being gone, that opens up minutes where, ultimately if Miles Bridges is starting, there needs to be a backup for. And I hope that ends up being, Rashir. But something's going to give with somebody at some point this season. Somebody's falling out of that rotation when you look at, that kind of group of guys who have always been borderline and or at least have been looking to crack it or have been hanging on to stay in it.
But also, let's be real. We're not going to stay completely healthy this year either.
Right.
So
Yeah.
someone's
So
going to have to
depth ain't
step
going to
up.
hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Like, if Mr. Gregory fucking thinks that Koa Peat can develop a jump shot, then that means fucking Rasheer Fleming can too. Which, hey, in spurts last season, it didn't
It
look
looked
bad,
good.
right? It
Yeah.
looked good,
Yeah.
especially the corner threes. So, like, if you're gonna tell me that, then the Suns are gonna win a championship in like the next 5 years. Because then, if Rasheer Fleming is fucking Kawhi Leonard 2.0 and Koa Peat, I don't know, maybe Sean Marion if he's gonna fucking sink threes. So, like, hey, if you're telling me that, cool, let's see it,
Yeah.
right? Because like like I also, like I said earlier, like at some point Ryan Dent was untouchable to Suns fans
Yeah.
because we thought he was going to be the next Mikal Bridges. So you know, we'll see. It'll all play out, but I don't know what the Suns. I don't know, man. Has anybody ever improved their 3-point shot since they've come here?
I'm sure. I'm sure somebody. Mikal Bridges looked very dicey when he first started off. I look. We remember Jordan Ott came in
Yeah.
having a background and being known to be a player development guy too. So I think Suns fans have to remember that and trust his process because last season there were I know a lot of people were up in arms about the minutes or lack thereof for the rookies for Collin and Rashir, but
Mm.
I mean, where did what harm did that truly cause? It didn't cost us a championship. It didn't cost us a first round win over OKC. I think you can do a lot more bad than good.
Yeah.
And let them come along. So
Agreed.
it's like back in the day when you get a NFL quarterback gets drafted, they didn't play for the first 3 years. Now it's unheard of to sit any of them, but the whole idea was let them get used to the game, let them get used to the speed of the game. And I think the logic can apply to a certain degree equally with these young rookies coming in. I mean, even
Oh yeah.
I'm interested to see what Malawatch looks like this upcoming year. Like, and when I say that, I mean physically, because that's
Yeah.
a dude who you can see has a frame that he's going to be able to put some muscle on. And I'm very interested to see if this gap in time from April until September,
October.
October, whenever we start
Yeah.
seeing them a little bit more, what he looks like. But yeah,
Yeah, that's a big one. And also, I mean, I don't know, man. Like that's he was what, the 10th pick in the draft.
yep.
Um, so either way, you develop into either a trade asset or a piece of the rotation. So um, we'll see.
Well, and that's another one we haven't talked about, the Mark Williams re-signing. So they re-signed Mark Williams to what, 3 years at an average
38 million,
annual of just about like 13, like a shade under 13. So yeah,
like
it's
12-8 or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, not a. I mean, the money I think is it's a fantastic deal for both him and Collin. We didn't talk about Collin Sexton either. I think Collin Sexton. Yeah, we did talk about Collin Sexton. Collin Gillespie. Um, I think the money for both of those deals, the Suns did a really good job. Brian Gregory did a really good job. And speaking of Collin Sexton, isn't there a Collin Sexton Jordan Ott connection then? Because wouldn't he have played with him for him
On Cleveland.
when
Yeah.
yeah. So maybe there's a little love there because shoot, man. I mean, you think about it. If a player has a coach that he really likes and thinks he can get show off his game, especially Collin Sexton, who's
Yeah.
I mean
I mean, he's made money, right?
right, exactly. But
He got a
I
big
think it's
contract already.
yeah, he did, and I think there's a good way for him to kind of continue his career longevity, if you will, by getting with a coach that he knows is going to showcase what he can do, especially if he's having to fill like a bench role.
Solid defender too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, look, man, the Miles Bridges thing, it's gonna be talked about. It's gonna be debated. People are going to say their piece about it and do what they're going to do about it, and have their opinions for
Yeah.
a long time. But I
Oh
think,
yeah.
and like I said, I don't like the that trade on multiple levels. But if I still look at the totality of what the Suns have done this offseason, it all seems like it's building in the correct direction, the right direction. They're not. I mean, they were giving us a lot of they were going to run it back vibes, right? And really, I guess ultimately, they're running it back with the right players, right? Because you want them to be maintaining the development of these young guys and not having Royce O'Neal taking minutes away from Rashir. Now you have
Right.
Collin, but if you didn't have I mean, again, we'll see how it all pans out.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some type of plan for it, man. Hopefully, at
Well,
least.
and that's the thing too, is what another move might be, and who knows, maybe the Suns aren't done trading yet this
Yeah.
offseason. Because like we all know, I mean, there's the possibility that some shoe drops with Jalen Green, or maybe it doesn't. But here's the good thing: is we've got a full off season that'll just keep us on our toes for one reason or the other, and maybe, just maybe, we'll record another episode before December.
Right? I mean, shit. Free agency's what, next week?
You feel like in like 2 days, July 1st, right, is when it technically starts. Is that still how that works?
I thought it was July 6th.
I don't know, dude. Fucking shut up, man. Stop asking questions. What are we supposed to know? We're supposed to know this stuff?
Sorry, dude.
It's coming back from 6 months. We could look it up there really quick. When does free agency start?
Yeah, look it up.
But it starts soon. But anything else, Dan, that you wanna jump on? June 30th, 6 p.m. Eastern.
What?
Oh, there we go. Hold on. Negotiating begins June 30th, 6 p.m. Eastern. July 6th at 12:01 p.m. Eastern is when official signings are allowed to start. So you're right.
So July 6th is when all the contracts get announced after they've already been negotiated for last week.
Yeah, well, I guess they'll probably like come out once, right? Even the negotiated ones, they get at least leaked, not formally announced by the team, right? So we'll know all that shit.
Yeah.
We'll know.
Yeah.
We'll know.
Dude.
So maybe July 6th. Who knows? All right. Anything else, Dan? Otherwise, we're gonna wrap it up because I feel like we did a good job filling an hour considering we haven't done this in 6 months. When Paul's not here. Paul didn't even bother. Hey, can we point out? Let's talk about this. So today, the reason I'm not kidding. I don't know if you saw the tweet, Dan, but I tweeted out today like this foot thing is making me stir crazy. So for people that might not know this, I ruptured my plantar fascia. It's not plantar fasciitis. I ripped the motherfucker. Okay, so I can't walk yet. I'll be able to like hobble around soon enough, but like I got a boot and all this stuff. It doesn't sit well with me. So I'm getting like anxious, and I'm like I need to like vent something. I need something, and so I was gonna do this, and then Dan, I'm like I told the guys, I'm like I'm gonna go on the channel tonight because God damn it, I'm losing my mind. If any of you wants to join me, Dan was like, ask me later as we get closer. And I'm like, you got it. Paul has to this moment has not responded in the group chat.
That was like at 2 p.m. too.
Paul's like, I don't need to tell you guys I hate you, do I? I didn't think so. Yeah, it was at 3:34 p.m. Now, to be fair, I think he also might be traveling today, so that could be why. But I had to at least make it sound like he was just being really mean and abusive towards us. So let's
stick with that.
Yeah, let's stick with that. On that note, love you, buddy. On that note, Dan, any final thoughts before? I mean, you might make sure it could be 6 months, so you don't know when you're going to talk to these beautiful people that are somehow watching this.
Nah, man, this was fun.
83 people.
This was fun. Hey, dude. Hey, life happens, but we'll always be back.
Did you ever watch Hey Dude, the show on Nickelodeon?
No.
Oh, you should. It's fantastic.
Did you ever watch Jane, Silent Bob Strike Back?
Where do you think I was conceived, my friend? At the shit movies? I don't know, dude. All right. On that note, hey, Dan. God. It's good to see you. It's been fun. I saw you yesterday, but like, it's good to see you not in person. That was weird. I didn't be next to you. But this was fun. We should do this again sometime. Yeah. And maybe Paul will join us. Maybe he won't. Maybe we won't do this for another 3 years. Who knows? We're a mystery, but we appreciate.
Maybe the next time we do this, the Suns will be celebrating a championship. Who knows?
Maybe the next time we do this, it'll be a 9-6 start again. I'm just gonna just in case, okay, just to be safe. But
oh boy,
for real, for people that tuned in here, like, look, Gavin misses us. We miss you too, Gavin. And look, we kept him entertained.
I thought he was supposed to come out here this past year. He didn't come out.
Yeah, I think something happened. Like the trip got canceled.
Why? Because the sun sucked?
In case you didn't know that. All right. So appreciate you hopping on here, Dan, with me, because it was gonna be super weird if I had to do this by myself. But I was gonna Colin Cowherd it and probably just talk about Hey Dude like the entire time. But I appreciate you being here. It's good to see you, buddy. Do you want to tell people where they can find you? Do you care to?
At Dan
Do it
Duarte
quickly.
1 on Twitter. Sure. X.
On the X. Oh look, I forgot. I could have done that. That would have helped. That's us right there. Appreciate y'all that listened, watched, whatever you did. I would not blame everybody for watching, because as I'm watching us, I feel like this is a very handsome Phoenix Suns podcast. I'm just going to put it out there. But anyway, appreciate y'all for watching, listening. Love you, miss you. And until the next time we do this, which might be, God knows, who knows when, where, whatever. I hope you enjoy your life. I don't even remember what I used to say at the end of these. Go enjoy your life. Have fun. Kiss people. Whatever. I don't know. Dan, stop me.
You are listening to Fanning the Flames, the OG Suns podcast that is for the fans, you guys, by the fans, us.